You are welcome to the lesson, dear viewers. My name is Teacher Katimbo Richard, taking you through mathematics. In the previous 4 sessions, we looked at algebra, a very important topic as far as mathematics is concerned. And today I've come with a new topic called time. As you know, one must manage one's time well and responsibly so that one does whatever one wants to do according to the way one planned. Now, number 1 today reads, this is an example which one must follow strictly, for it is also very important a topic. Then it reads, below is the timetable for a baby coach bus company from Kayabwe to Nsanji. Use it to answer the questions that follow. Use it to answer the questions that follow. There is a tendency of one rushing to the questions before one studies, or actually does study the given information. Therefore, the best way one must do, or the best method one must undertake is first study, then one answers thereafter. So I've got town, arrival, and departure. To arrive is to reach the place, or to reach the place that is. Then to depart is to leave. So I've got arrival time at a particular place and departure from that very place. As you see, this is a timetable for a baby coach bus company all the way from Kayabwe up to Nsanji. Hence, at Kayabwe, we don't have arrival time because that's where the bus starts from daily. Therefore, it only departs from there. Thus, it leaves Kayabwe at 8:15 a.m. and reaches Buama at 8:40 a.m. Then thereafter, the bus leaves the same Buama town at 8:53 a.m. That means it had a stopover there for some time, which is actually 13 minutes. That is from 8:40 a.m. up to 8:53 a.m. So having left Buama at 8:53 a.m., it reached Kamengo town at 8:10 a.m., thereby departing from there at 9:17 a.m. Remember to reach there at 9:10 a.m., leaving that very place at 9:17 a.m. So it also stop there for some time, which is actually 7 minutes. Then, having left Kamengo at 9:17 a.m., the bus reaches Mpigi town at 9:47 a.m. Then leaves the same town Mpigi at 10:02 a.m. So it means it has a stopover there also. Then proceeds to Katende town, where it reaches at 10:15 a.m., leaving that very place Katende at 10:25 a.m., thereby spending some time there, which is actually 10 minutes. That is from 10:15 a.m. up to 10:25 a.m. Then reaches its destination, which is in Nsanji, at 10:40 a.m. daily. So wherever you see two different times of arrival and departure, you just know there was a stopover in or at that very place. Then that's when one goes ahead to read the questions, having studied well, and then one answers accordingly. So question A, or part A of question number 1 reads, what is the departure time from Katende town? You go back to the said Katende town and look out for the departure time, which is actually 10:25 a.m. That is for comprehension of reading, understanding the timetable given, and then write. You say it is 10:25 a.m. Then question B, for how long does the bus stay at Mpigi? In mathematics, the time taken in place is taken like time rested. And as you know, when one race is not covering any distance, but time goes. So get the time one decides to leave minus the time when one reached the place. Hence, time rested equals departure time minus arrival time. Look at the place talked about, or the town. It's actually Mpigi. The departure time from Mpigi is 10:02 a.m. minus the arrival there, which was 9:47 a.m. So you go down and say time rested equals 10:02 a.m. minus 9:47 a.m. Before you proceed, or before one proceeds, one must take note of the units involved. We have got AM and AM. It means now you are given a go ahead to subtract for the units are the same. We shall take that as like terms in the algebraic language, so they look alike. That is, now you have freedom to subtract. Hence, you organize your time vertically. That is 10:02 minus 9:47. Now, as you see, these are means, these are hours. You are not allowed to write AM here, for we are getting time rested. So somebody cannot say I rested for 1:15 AM. That is very wrong. So one, the duration in terms of hours and minutes. It's therefore advisable to have these two dots, so these dots in between the time, to separate hours from minutes. So I've got 02 minutes minus 47, which cannot possibly be subtracted as it is. So 02 minutes, or the 2 minutes, must be helped when one borrows. So you borrow 1 hour, and should be noted that 1 hour is given to 60 minutes. So the fact being that we're helping the 2 minutes, we bring the borrowed 60 minutes onto 2 and get 62 minutes. So instead of 02, a replacement is going to be made of 62. Hence, on top of 62 minus 47 minutes. What you do is to subtract normally. Still we know 2 minus 7 is only possible after borrowing. So borrow 1 from 6, remain with 5, which one, when borrowed, being that this base 10 now, is the 12. So 12 minus 7, you get 5, and 5 that remained here, minus 4. 1 remains with 1, and remember after borrowing 1 hour from the 10, remain with 9. Now 9 minus 9 is 0 on the hour section. So therefore the difference has been realized only on the minute section. Hence time rested is 15 minutes. So the bus takes 15 minutes at Mpigi. In so doing, one will have answered that question. Remember, time rested is called departure time minus arrival time. the time you choose or one chooses to leave minus the time one reached the place called arrival time. That must be taken into account. Then question or part C of number 1 concerning the same timetable reads, how many stopovers does the bus make for the whole journey? That's the whole journey all the way from Kayabwe to Mpigi. As I noted earlier, whenever you see 2 kinds of time of arrival and departure for a particular place, that means there was a stopover. So since Buama behaves in the same way, it has got arrival and departure, it has got a first stopover. The next is at Kamengo, the same behavior. Mpigi follows suit, as well as Katende, because they have got 2 times of arrival and departure. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stopovers. That's why the answer says 4 stopovers. And to support your answer, you write the places where this bus makes stopovers. That's at Buama, Kamengo, Mpigi, and Katende. Those are the 4 stopovers. Then we proceed to part D of number 1. If the distance from Kayabwe to Katende is 140 kilometers, at what speed was the bus traveling between these 2 places of Kayabwe and Katende? It reads again, if the distance from Kayabwe to Katende is 140 kilometers, at what speed was the bus traveling between these 2 places, as mentioned above? One must know that speed is found by division of distance and time. Therefore, state it that speed is equal to distance divided by time. The distance has been dictated by the examiner as 140. Bring it down and say distance equals 140 kilometers. And should be noted that the time taken is not here, and here's the connection between 2 places of Kayabwe and Katende. Therefore, time taken between 2 different places is equal to arrival time minus departure time. That's the time you reach where you're going minus the time you left that place from where you were. So therefore, we stated that time taken equals arrival time minus departure time. Remember, the question before, they asked for time rested, which is got by subtracting arrival time from departure time. That is departure time minus arrival time. Whereas when you're connecting between 2 places, time taken is equal to arrival time minus departure time. Now ask yourself, where does the bus arrive of the 2 places? That's Kayabwe and Katende. Where one is going is where one arrives. So since it heads for Katende, then the arrival time at Katende is the one reads here. We are reading the arrival time at Katende. The arrival time at Katende is 10:15 a.m. Then minus departure time from Kayabwe. Kayabwe is here, which is 8:15 a.m. The arrival time at Katende, 10:15 a.m. minus departure time from Kayabwe, which is 8:15 a.m. It's the one we transfer here. Say time taken equals 10:15 a.m. minus the said 8:15 a.m. Look at the tunes to see whether I've given a go-ahead. Indeed, it is given for the units are the same, AM and AM. Then go downwards. Remember, when we arrange it vertically, we leave out these AMs deliberately and write like 10.15 minus 8.15. Now 15 minus 15, we are fortunate now. We don't need to seek for help anywhere. 15 minus 15 is 0. So that means we have no minute left. Now I've got 10 minus 8 is 2. So it is 2 hours and no minute Hence, the time taken between the two places is 2 hours. Remember, we are in need of the speed. We are dividing the distance of 140 kilometers by the go 2 hours. That is 140 kilometers divided by 2 hours. Divide well to get speed as 70 kilometers every hour. That is what one must do to find the speed without an omission of work. We shall then proceed to the second example. So example number 2 today states, the timetable below shows a motorist's journey from Kampala to Luweero. The timetable below shows a motorist's journey from Kampala to Luweero. Study it carefully to answer accordingly. Like we did in number 1, we need to study properly. We have got town, distance in kilometers, arrival time, and departure time. So this one includes the distance, which must also be studied very well. We have got towns, Kampala, Matuga, Bombo, Woblenzi, and Luweero. Let us study the distance. Since the heading says the timetable below shows a motorist's journey from Kampala to Luweero, it means the distance, or whichever distance given here, is from Kampala, from the Kampala city to a particular town that is dictated here. That's why the distance from Kampala to Kampala is 0 kilometers. Then we move. The distance from Kampala to Matuga is 20 kilometers. Then the distance from Kampala to Bombo is 35 kilometers. The distance from Kampala to Woblenzi is 60 kilometers, and the distance from Kampala to Luweero is 90 kilometers. Hence, when one is asked, for example, find the distance between Matuga and Bombo, don't say 35 kilometers. What you do is to subtract that 35 kilometers minus 20 kilometers and get 15 kilometers. For all the distances given here are actually from Kampala. So you take off that 20 kilometer journey from Kampala to Matuga, and then you get a 15 kilometer journey between Matuga and Bombo. Likewise, can be asked, find the distance from Bombo to Luweero. Since from Kampala to Bombo is 35 kilometers, and from Kampala to Luweero is 90 kilometers, then the distance between Bombo and Luweero is 90 kilometers minus 35 kilometers. We subtract accurately. Then we go to the 2 times of arrival time and departure time. This motorist leaves Kampala at 8 a.m. and reaches Matuga at 9:30 a.m., leaving Matuga at 9:45 a.m., where the earlier one reached at 9:30 a.m. So he makes a stopover of 15 minutes at Matuga, then proceeds to Bombo, where he arrives at 10:45 a.m., leaving that very place Bombo at 10:50 a.m. Therefore, he's there for some 5 minutes, and then proceeds to Woblenzi, arriving there at 12:20 p.m., where he leaves at 12:30 p.m. Therefore, he's there for some 10 minutes before reaching Luweero at 2 p.m. And that's the final destination. So, having studied all that much, then one is now free to read the questions. Question A reads, at what time in 24-hour clock system does a motorist arrive at Luweero town? So we go to say town, which is Luweero, and look at the arrival time there, which is 2 p.m. And should be noted that wherever you see p.m. or a.m., that's 12-hour clock system. Because they say 24-hour clock system must have a unit, which is hours. So we don't see those hours, just know another clock system, which is automatically the 12-hour clock system time. read whatever is here. That's what's called comprehension. You say he arrives at at 2 p.m. Which 2 p.m. is a 12-hour clock system time. Now you say in 24-hour clock system. You must know the meaning of p.m. Meaning of p.m. is afternoon. So the noon is the midday. So being that p.m. means afternoon, bring back the noon to know the actual time of the day. And noon means a half of the day or midday, and we know a day is of 24 hours. So midday or half of the day is 12 hours, which are called for here. We say 2.00 plus 12.00 hours. Add 0 plus 0 is 0. So those 2 zeros, then 2 plus 2 is a 4 and a 1. So in 24-hour clock system, this model leaves the said town well at 14.00 hours. And you must know how to read this and write this. So that's what's called literacy. You must know how to read and write. So don't put any dot here between the 24-hour clock system time. Just write 14.00 hours as it is there. Never, please, should you or should one put any point between those two. Just write 14.00 hours, and in so doing, one will have answered part A of number 2. Then part B, how long does the motor take to travel from Matuga to Wobblins? How long? The absolute noun is length. So wherever you see long and the correspondent word take, that is length of time taken. One asks for or questions for. So therefore, you say time taken, remember there are 2 different places, is equal to arrival time minus departure time. Now look at the said places, that is Matuga and Wobblins. Which of the 2 places must one arrive at? It is Wobblins. Then departure from Matuga, go to the timetable and see arrival time at Wobblins. Which Wobblins town is here? The arrival time is 12:20 p.m. Then minus the departure time from Matuga, which Matuga is here. The departure time is 9:45 a.m., which you are going to substitute the places of arrival time and departure time and say time taken equals 12:20 p.m. minus 9:45 a.m. Look at the 2 units we've got, p.m. and a.m. Hence, you must never just proceed. That one calls for converting each of them to a 24-hour clock system. So that I've got the same units. This is 12:20 p.m., which 12 is actually midday, and a midday is half of the day, which half is a half of 24, which is 12. So therefore, 12:20 p.m. in a 24-hour system remains the same, only that the p.m. changes to hours. How do you then maintain it? You write 12:20 plus nothing, that is 0.00 hours, and then get 12:20 hours. Then in a.m., one adds 00 hours. Therefore, we go 9:45 plus 00 hours, 4 zeros please, thereby writing 9:45 hours. Remember not to put any dot in between there in a 24-hour clock system time. And one would wonder why the 0 is here. It is by law that you must have 4 digits in writing a 24-hour clock system time. When you are tempted into writing 3 digits, the 0 will then read the whole story and then write 9:45 hours. Now that both are reading hours, then you can proceed to subtract. So the outcome of the other PM, the 12:20, is 12:20 hours, and the outcome of 9:45 a.m. is 9:45 hours. Now proceed to subtract as dictated by the formula. You say 12:20, here don't put any unit, we want the time taken please. 12:20 minus 9:45. 20 minutes minus 45 minutes is only possible after borrowing 1 hour from 12, remain with 11. And now, which 1 hour when annexed to means, it means a 60-minute duration. Help the said 20 to gain some value through addition of 20 and 60 and get 80. Thereby replacing this 20 with this 80, now I've got 80 means minus 45. And now 0 minus 5, still do borrow, remain with 7, that's now a 10. A 10 minus 5 is a 5, 7 minus 4 is a 3, and now 11 hours minus 9 hours, the one remains with 2 hours. Therefore, time taken between the said places of my two gun wavelengths is 2 hours and 35 minutes. In that way, one will have answered that question. Then we go to part C of number 2. How far is it between Bombo and Iruwero? So go back to timetable and see the said Bombo and Iruwero. We said all these distances here are measured from Kampala. Therefore, since from Kampala to Bombo is 35 kilometers, and from Kampala to Iruwero is 90 kilometers, then the distance from Bombo to Iruwero will be the difference between 90 kilometers and 35 kilometers. Then you go here and say 90 kilometers minus 35 kilometers. Subtract accordingly to get a 55 kilometer journey. Therefore, it is 55 kilometers from Bombo to Iruwero. Then we go to part D. Find the motorist's average speed for the whole journey. Find the motorist's average speed for the whole journey. Now, one must know that average speed is found by dividing total distance covered by the total time taken. Hence, one must state that average speed is total distance covered divided by total time taken. Then on the timetable, we have the whole journey moving all the way from Kampala to Iruwero. And the distance from Kampala to Iruwero is declared to be 90 kilometers. Please don't add. So that's the use of first studying the timetable before you answer. One is likely to start by addition of the entire journey here. Someone says 0 plus 20 plus 35 plus 60 plus 90, which is wrong. The whole journey is a 90 kilometer one. Therefore, go here and say total distance covered is 90 kilometers. Then you say I don't have total time taken and yet it's needed. Here before the division, you say but total time taken is equal to arrival time minus departure time. Where are we arriving? So the destination, which is Iruwero, the arrival time at Iruwero is 2 p.m. Then the departure time must be got from Kampala, because the whole journey is all the way from Kampala to Iruwero, reaching Iruwero at 2 p.m. and departing from Kampala at 8 a.m. Then once right there, or here I'll transfer here and say total time taken is equal to 2 p.m. minus 8 a.m. One that's not blind, even if one is blind, he has heard. We've got p.m. and a.m. and therefore we cannot proceed to subtract unless the situation is normalized. Why is it abnormal? The anomaly has been sensed in the units given as p.m. and a.m. So we convert 24-hour system either way. Remember, any p.m. apart from the 12 itself, we add 12 hours. For p.m. means afternoon has been dropped. So bring back the 12 hours, which is a noon. So that's 2:00 plus 12 hours, which is 14:00 hours. And this is before noon. Therefore, don't bother yourself to look at noon. Therefore, add nothing. 8:00 plus 00:00 hours, and then add here 0, 0, 8 and 0. So that's a 4-digit kind of time, which is 08:00 hours. Remember not to put any dot in between the 24-hour clock system time. Now that both are reading hours, these are 14 hours or 14:00 hours and 08:00 hours, then you can proceed to subtract to get the time taken between the two places. That is the length of time taken for the entire journey between Kampala and Iruwero. So 14.00 minus 08.00. Here we are allowed to put a point to separate hours from minutes. We are in need of time taken in hours and minutes. So under minutes, there's nothing, and 14 minus 8 is 6. So the whole journey took 6 hours. And now that road distance covered is 90 kilometers, total time taken is 6 hours, then average speed can be found by dividing 90 kilometers by 6 hours, and then 1 divides. 6 divided by 6 once, 9 divided by 6, 1, remainder 3, which 3 is next to 0 to get a 30, divided by 6, 1 gets 15, and therefore average speed is 15 kilometers every hour. So that is how the timetable is dealt with. Please care about the don'ts and do's in this time. For just getting the answer may not necessarily mean you have successfully answered the question. Follow the don'ts and the do's for writing the time. That's how you'll be literate in terms of timetelling. Been and I am teacher Katimbo Richard. Please stay safe.